Widodo checking the ASEAN Summit venue. The Meteorology, Climatology and Geophysics Agency or BMKG reported an 11-centimeter rise tsunami in Siberut Island of Mentawai Islands, West Sumatra on Tuesday morning after a magnitude 6.9 earthquake struck the island. People living in Tanah Bala Islands in South Nias Regency were told to stay alert. People living along the coastal lines are urged to stay away from the coastal line. Head of Earthquake and Tsunami Center at BMKG Daryono said the magnitude 6.9 was a megathrust earthquake. The quake was strongly felt in West Pasaman, Padang Pariaman, Agam, Padang, Gunung Sitoli, Padang Panjang, the southern coast, 50 kota, South Solok, Solok, Bukit Tinggi, Padang Sidempuan, and Labuhan Batu Bengkalis. Indonesian government via the Indonesian Embassy in Khartoum, Sudan, have successfully transported around 538 Indonesian citizens from the conflicted capital to the port of Sudan. The first phase of evacuation used a sea route to Jeddah and then the Indonesians flown back to Indonesia from there. The Indonesian government is doing the best to protect Indonesians in conflict-ridden Sudan. In her press statement earlier, Minister of Foreign Affairs Retno Marsudi explained that by Sunday, April 23rd at around 1 a.m. local time, the Indonesian government there have managed to evacuate 538 Indonesians to port city of Sudan. The 538 are comprised of 273 women, 240 men, and 25 children and toddlers. Most of the evacuees are Indonesian students, migrant workers, Indofood employees, and Indonesia Embassy staff and families. The first phase of evacuation was led directly by Indonesian ambassador in Khartoum and using 8 buses, also a minibus belonging to the Indonesian Embassy. Minister Retno Marsudi added that the travel time between Khartoum to Port Sudan took around 15 hours or through around 830 kilometers via the town of Atbara, Damir, Mismar, and Sawakin, and passing 15 checkpoint posts along the way. National Police Chief General Listio Sigit Prabowo explained that a number of traffic management plans will take place both in highways and arterial roads to anticipate the peak of east-return flow this year. General Listio Sigit Prabowo said the authorities will impose a number of traffic restrictions in anticipation when the 2023 East Reverse trip culminates these days. Speaking in a virtual press conference in Jakarta, General Sigit added the traffic restrictions include one-way and contraflow schemes both on highways and arterial roads. The police chief said that the odd-even system will also be imposed when necessary, adding that the police are ready to impose such policies as an effort to unravel potential clogged traffic and distribute the loads of the roads. He cited that Eid Exodus and the return flow this year will reach the highest level since 2019. Indonesian President Joko Widodo visited Labuan Bajo in West Manggarai Regency, East Nusa Tenggara Province over the weekend to check preparation for the organization of the ASEAN Summit 2023. President Joko Widodo along with First Lady Iriana Joko Widodo arrived in Labuan Bajo, West Manggarai, East Nusa Tenggara on Saturday, April 22, 2023. The President came to check the preparedness of the venue for the 42nd ASEAN Summit, which is scheduled for May 9 to 11, 2023. Leaders of ASEAN member countries and other guest delegations are scheduled to attend the ASEAN Summit in Labuan Bajo, which is one of the areas designated as super priority tourism destinations in Indonesia. As many as 1,156 rooms for 22 hotels and resorts in Labuan Bajo have been prepared to accommodate the delegates and national committee members. The East Nusa Tenggara branch of state-owned electricity company PT PLN provides 7 electric vehicle fast charging stations in Labuan Bajo, West Manggarai Regency to support the use of electric vehicles in the 2023 ASEAN Summit. General Manager of PLN's East Nusa Tenggara branch, I Gede Agung Sindu Putra said in Kupang on Sunday, April 23, 2023. That the 7 fast charging stations are to support the use of electric vehicles in the 2023 ASEAN Summit, which will be held in Labuan Bajo, West Manggarai on May 9 to 11, 2023. Sindu Putra said the 7 fast charging stations will be installed at the front yard of the West Manggarai Region's office and ready for electric vehicles to be used by the head of states and delegates as well as supporting operational vehicles. In addition, there will be standing home charging facilities provided at parking lots of hotels where the head of states and the delegates will stay. Sindu Putra said further that PLN has also increased the electricity capacity in Labuan Bajo so that the ASEAN Summit can run safely and smooth. As precaution, PLN deploys 320 personnel for rapid response in mitigating risks of power failure and in providing secure supply for the summit and in meeting customer needs. In addition, PLN prepares supporting equipment such as 47 sets of uninterruptible power supply, 21 sets of mobile power houses, 6 sets of mobile cables, and 34 generator sets. Sindu revealed that PLN has recently established a command center as a control and monitoring center for electricity readiness throughout the ASEAN Summit.
We continue with more news as we travel to Macau to see how World Earth Day is celebrated there, and also we'll take you to see the concert of a famous opera singer, Placido Domingo.
The World Tourism Organization and Macau's Global Tourism Economic Forum have signed a memorandum of understanding on their partnership. Secretary General of the World Tourism Organization, Zurab Pololikashvili, with Vice Chairman and Secretary General of Global Tourism Economic Forum, Han Siho, and Secretary for Economy and Finance, the SAARC government, Lei Wai Nong, held the first Global Tourism Economic Forum, or GTEF, with the aim to provide an international exchange platform for global tourism and industries. And on April 2023, Chief Executive Ho Yat-seng witnessed the two entities signing a memorandum of understanding. The agreement marks an advancement of cooperation and unveils new chapters of global cooperation in tourism, economy, culture, and other fields in the post-pandemic period. Secretary for Economy and Finance, the SAR government, Lei Wainong said major industries worldwide, such as tourism and related industries, encounter numerous challenges and opportunities, stressing that the partnership can contribute to the long-term sustainable development of the industries and expedite the diversified economy. The President of the General Assembly, Korosi, convened an interactive dialogue during the commemoration of the International Mother Day on April 24th in New York. Marking the International Mother Earth Day, the President of the General Assembly, Korosi, said, "As humans, we are latecomers, new tenants of this world, tenants with short-term leases, but with particular responsibilities." He said, "Our mainstream attitude has centered on extracting nature's resources for the fulfillment of the immediate needs of just one or two generations of humans. Our approach has been based on believing that resources are infinite and growth of consumption is always good." Korosi added, "The assumption that there is limitless potential for traditional economic growth encourages unsustainable production and consumption patterns beyond the Earth's regenerative capacity." Mark World Earth Day, the Artisan Grand Lapa Macau, together with IC2, organized a series of activities throughout the day. In Macau, the Artisan Grand Lapa Macau and IC2, a non-profit organization for people with disabilities and autism, organized a series of activities. It kicked off around 3 in the afternoon with a green walk from Fisherman's Wharf to the lawn area of Artisan Grand Lapa Macau. After the walk, the event continued with a series of educational activities, including a pickleball game demonstration and a short environmental talk from Macau's Secretary of the Society of Food and Environmental Health. The signature tree planting ceremony took place featuring the Ozymanthus fragrans tree, which will join the previous planted trees of the past 2 years. The theme this year is IC2 Invest in Our Planet. This is the 3rd consecutive year Artisan Grand Lapa Macau and IC2 has partnered together to organize World Earth Day. Spring races have started in the Ashgabat Hippodrome. There were 7 races at a distance of 1,000 meters with the participation of about 50 elite horses. The guests of the complex were presented with expositions of paintings, decorative and applied products, photographs, which depicted the image of the Turkmen Akhalteki horses. The atmosphere of the celebration was created by the musical accompaniment of skilled bakhshis and musicians. Spring competitions on the eve of the National Day of the Turkmen Horse, which is annually celebrated in Turkmenistan on the last Sunday of April, gathered numerous fans of equestrian sport, which is very popular in the country, in the stands. Akhalteki horses participating in the competition are not more than 3 years old. Almost all the riders on the horses of the Akhalteki equestrian complex of the President of Turkmenistan finished first. Riding horses set young riders whose age does not even reach 17 years. Atajan Atef became the winner of the last race at the spring races. He crossed the finish line in 1 minute and 5 seconds. The famous Plaza de Domingo, who came third at world stage, is visiting Uzbekistan these days. in Tashkent, a concert program held in cooperation with the Uzbekistan Symphony Orchestra with the participation of this prestigious opera singer. Placido Domingo is one of the greatest tenors of our time, whose genius is recognized by both classical music lovers and world critics. A powerful voice, amazing talent, and hard work allowed Placido to become an operatic legend during his lifetime. Placido Domingo, who is recognized as one of the most influential opera singers in the world, also worked as a conductor. He served as Artistic Director Emeritus of the Arena di Verona Centennial Opera Festival and General Director of the Washington National Opera and Los Angeles Opera. The next location of such a world-famous artist is Uzbekistan. The artist, who is a guest in Uzbekistan, is actively preparing for the concert program. According to him, Uzbekistan has its own characteristics, and that is why he was interested in coming to the country.
We still have more stories, one of which is China to launch relay satellites Keqiao-2 next year for new lunar exploration missions and drone delivery demonstrated in Daegu.
China plans to launch Keqiao-2 or Magpie Bridge 2, a relay satellite for communications between the four sides of the Moon and Earth in 2024. According to the China National Space Administration. The satellite will serve as a relay platform for the fourth phase of China's lunar exploration program, providing communication services for Chang'e 4, Chang'e 6, Chang'e 7, and Chang'e 8 missions. Two experimental satellites for communication and navigation, which will be launched together with Keqiao-2, were named Tiandu-1 and Tiandu-2 after the Tiandu Peak, a main peak of the famous Huangshan Mountain in Anhui Province. The two satellites, developed by China's Deep Space Exploration Lab, will conduct technological experiments and provide a reference for the design of the future Keqiao constellation. The news was announced just as the country is hosting the Space Day of China held in Hefei, the capital of East China's Anhui Province, from Sunday to Wednesday. Speaking at the event, officials said Chang'e 6, Chang'e 7, and Chang'e 8 will form the basic model of a scientific research station on the Moon's south pole, which is expected to be completed around 2028. Chang'e 6 is poised to collect samples from the far side of the Moon, marking a mission that will be the first of its kind in human history. Chang'e 7 mission will involve landing on the lunar south pole and searching for water. Chang'e 8 will conduct a survey of lunar materials at the South Pole, which scientists hope will be used to build houses by using 3D printing technology. During the main forum on Monday, officials also launched 10 scientific and technical challenges in the aerospace field, including the long-term, in-orbit, simultaneous monitoring and control technology of the space station network and a nuclear-driven quick come-and-go technology for manned Mars mission. Indian Space Research Organization successfully launched the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle C-55 or PSLV C-55 mission carrying two Singaporean satellites from Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh on Saturday. PSLV C-55 is a dedicated commercial PSLV mission of New Space India Limited, which is the commercial arm of ISRO for an international satellite customer. It is the 57th flight of PSLV and the 16th mission of the PSLV Core Alone configuration variant. This is the lightest version of PSLV. This is a dedicated commercial mission through NSIL with Peleos 2 as primary satellite and Lumlight 4 as a co-passenger satellite. The satellites weigh about 741 kg and 16 kg. Both belong to Singapore. The Peleos 2 satellite is developed under a partnership between DSTA, representing the government of Singapore, and ST Engineering. $254 4G mobile towers dedicated to the nation will benefit thousands living in 336 villages of Arunachal Pradesh. In a joint effort of Government of India and Government of Arunachal Pradesh, 254 4G mobile towers have been dedicated to the nation on Saturday in presence of Union Ministers Ashwini Vaishnaw, Kiran Rijiju, Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu, along with senior officials. The towers will cover 336 villages and benefit thousands of residents in Arunachal Pradesh. The beneficiaries shall be able to access to high-speed network connectivity to residents, which ensure various digital services in sectors like education, health, e-commerce, and agriculture, leading to socio-economic development. Over 70,000 subscribers are expected to be benefited from this service. In his address, Union Minister for Communication Ashwini Vaishnaw said that the importance of communication is not only connectivity, but also opening the doors of opportunity related to it. A drone pizza delivery service has been operated at the Susong Lake Park in Daegu. It takes only 6 minutes to load the drone with the pizza and deliver it to the destination. Large drone flies across the sky. It lands softly at the marked spot to deliver pizza. The pizza is placed on a 4-legged robot right next to it, and the robot quickly brings it to right where the customer awaits.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Your World. I'm Dia Fadila. Thanks for watching and see you next week.